Perhaps one of the biggest needs that we have been outlining, we have said that the Raiders need to fix, that they need to make sure that they address this offseason, whether it's the free agency or the draft, defensive tackle. Now, there's a couple players. I love Darius Philon. I felt like he really, I don't want to say necessarily rejuvenated his career because I felt like he was already a really good player, but I felt like, with the Chargers, it just wasn't it. But I think you could safely say this man found a place with the Raiders, and I don't think that is too far-fetched. In fact, I think it could be argued that I think he could be really a staple for them with them for a really long time, whether if that's as a guy that comes off the bench and provides a little something off the pass rush, or as a starter. We'll see. But I like a lot of these other guys too: Quentin Jefferson, Jonathan Hankins, Solomon Thomas. But I think they were missing a little something. Like there was a little bit that they wanted that I feel like you wanted a meat. You wanted a boy down inside. Like you wanted a man. And the Vikings had two of them this last year. And now some of you might be thinking and taking a look at my flag. Oh, he's a Vikings fan. So, yeah, well, the Raiders are my AFC team. So let's calm down a little bit, okay? The reason I think the Raiders need to trade for DALVIN Tomlinson is, well, that's actually, let's back up here. We think that the Raiders need to trade for DALVIN Tomlinson. Just kidding. There's no way they would trade for Dalvin Cook. And I don't think they need to because they don't want that extra money on their cap. But back to the point at hand here. DALVIN Tomlinson is a bad man. And there's also a little bit of an overlap that nobody is thinking about. Patrick Graham, anybody? This man played for Patrick Graham for at least the last couple of seasons, I do believe. So I think it would be a really good match. And if you just take a look here, you look at a guy like DALVIN Tomlinson, you think he's just a pass rush, or excuse me, just a run stuffer. He's got some inside pass rush moves too. Has had 10.5 sacks in 5 years in the NFL. I know that's not amazing, but if you look at the tape, just look at the tape. This man has some pass rush. He's got some shimmy to him. He's got some power. And I think he would really be a very good fit in Patrick Graham's system. Obviously was a good fit for him when he was with the Giants. And as a guy that, over the last couple of seasons, he has been a very good player. I mean, with the Vikings last year, had a 74.9 PFF grade. You love to see it. Also had a couple sacks. The year before that with the Giants, had a 75.1 PFF grade. Obviously still bringing it for him. And then the year before that, a 78.2. Obviously, continuously one of the highest graded overall defensive tackles in the game throughout the last couple of seasons, and I think he could really help out the Raiders. Now, there's a little bit of thing here. Now, obviously, I think this next contract year is guaranteed with DALVIN Tomlinson, but I think that's okay. I think, the Raiders are going to have some cap space. I think you don't have to spend a lot of money, to get a guy like DALVIN Tomlinson. Obviously, I think he's going to have like, a $9-10 million cap hit, so that's not great, but for what you're getting, actually, with his current contract, his cap hit is only $7.5 million, but he does have a $10 million cap hit. So if he was traded to the Vikings, I would be interested to see how they worked all of that out. But for only $7.5 million, this kind of a player for $7.5 million, come on! One of the greatest, or one of the better graded defensive tackles in the game, whether it's the run or the pass. I think DALVIN Tomlinson would do some nasty things for the Raiders. I mean, can you imagine Denzel Perryman behind DALVIN Tomlinson? Oh boy, that would be fun to watch. And plus, again, he's that guy that can play a 3-tech, 5-tech, 0-tech, all the techs. DALVIN Tomlinson would be a great addition for the Raiders. Now, the question now becomes, what would you trade for him? Now, the Vikings could be in a position where they could want to get rid of DALVIN Tomlinson. I really do believe that because you got guys like, Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, also Kevin O'Connell. If the right price is given up for DALVIN Tomlinson, I think you could find something. Now, especially because the Raiders are in a win-now mode, I think you could definitely find and get DALVIN Tomlinson for a second-round pick. Is that a lot? Probably. But the point is this. DALVIN Tomlinson is still relatively young. You talk about a guy that's only 28 right now, and I think he could continually be a force, at least for the next 3 to 4 seasons. And I think especially for a team, like we said, that is in a somewhat of a win-now mode, I think it would be in their best interest to do so. Well, he's only 27. I'm sorry. He's 28 in 3 days. I'm sorry. But the point is this. I think moving forward, DALVIN Tomlinson is a guy that you could have on your team for the next 2 to 3 seasons that gives you premier premier interior presence, a premier interior pass rusher, a premier interior run stopper. So I think he would make a lot of sense for the Raiders. That $7.5 to $10 million mark. Again, would you like to maybe have a second round pick? Yes, but DALVIN Tomlinson, you know what you're getting. The second round class, you never really know what you get in the draft. You could hit on a guy. This takes all the pressure off of that. You get some good value. You get a guy in there that you can play all the techs. It has played in a 4-3 front and a 3-4 front, so he would be he stays on the field no matter what. DALVIN Tomlinson stays on the field, and he will continue to wreak havoc for the Raiders. I think he would be a very good get. Now again, second round pick, I think, is the best case scenario. Worst case, I think the Vikings would at least want a third want at least a fourth. Middle of the rack, probably a third around there for them. But again, I think that the Raiders would have to take his salary with him, which I would totally. They would have to work out something monetarily, and I think the Vikings would take a second round pick for him because I think again. Worst case, fourth round pick. Best case for the Vikings is a second round pick, but the best case for the Raiders is a fourth round pick. There we go. We covered both sides there. But again, you're getting a guy that's a premier run stopper and a premier pass rusher at a good price that comes in, immediately is going to stay on the field, and he's just going to get after it. You absolutely love it. Watch the tape. This man can get after it. He immediately makes the Raiders defense one of the best run stopping teams in the just his presence in the middle. Just watch him. That's all I got to say. Watch this man on tape. He does some big things. He did some big things for the Vikings last year. The Vikings just didn't use him in the right way. But Patrick Graham will know how to use this man in the right way, and he will do a lot of great things. But let us know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support that we've gotten and continue to get. You guys are all truthfully awesome. We love every single one of you. Make sure you guys also in the description down below give us a like and a follow on all of our social media platforms. Give us a listen and sub on iTunes. And finally, if you have anything else you'd like us to cover, send us an email at thesportsbp@yahoo.com or put it in the comment section down below, and we would love to cover it. But let us know what you guys think about the Las Vegas Raiders needing to trade and addressing one of their biggest needs, in my mind, needing to trade for DALVIN Tomlinson. Great end.